If you're over 60 and notice things aren't working quite like they used to in the bedroom, you're not broken, you're not alone, and most importantly, you're not done yet. But there's one thing happening in your body right now that most doctors won't tell you about, and it's quietly affecting millions of American men our age. Here's what nobody talks about. After 60, your body starts producing less of something crucial. And it's not just testosterone. It's something that directly controls blood flow to the areas that matter most. And while younger guys might bounce back from poor habits overnight, we can't afford to ignore what our bodies are telling us anymore. But here's the good news, and this is why I wanted to sit down with you today. Everything I'm about to share with you is completely natural, completely safe, and based on both solid science and the kind of wisdom that comes from living long enough to know what actually works. My name is Hostname, and for the past X years, I've been helping men just like us navigate these changes with dignity, practical solutions, and zero judgment. Today, we're going to have an honest conversation about something that affects 70% of men over 60, but that most of us suffer through in silence. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk man to man about what's really happening and what you can do about it. Before we dive deeper, I'd love to know, which state are you watching from? Type it in the comments below. It amazes me how this message reaches fellow men from Maine to California, from Texas to Alaska. There's something powerful about knowing we're all in this together, sharing the same concerns, and looking out for each other. So drop your state in the comments. I read every single one, and it helps me understand where this community is growing. Let me tell you about my friend Robert. He's 64, retired from construction work, married to his high school sweetheart for 42 years. Robert came to me last fall looking frustrated and, honestly, a little defeated. "I feel like I'm letting her down," he said. "It's not that I don't wanna. It's just that my body isn't cooperating anymore. I've tried those little blue pills, but they make me feel weird, give me headaches, and frankly, they don't always work anyway." Robert's story broke my heart because I'd heard it so many times before. Here's a man who built houses with his bare hands for 4 decades, who raised 3 kids, who's been a rock for his family, and now he felt like his own body was betraying him. But here's what Robert didn't know, and what most men our age don't realize, is that what he was experiencing wasn't just getting old. It was his body responding to decades of habits, stresses, and changes that nobody ever taught us how to handle. See, Robert was doing 3 things every single day that were quietly sabotaging his circulation and hormonal balance. He'd start his morning with 2 cups of coffee and a sugary donut, sending his blood sugar on a roller coaster. He'd spend most of his day sitting in his recliner watching TV, letting his circulation slow to a crawl, and he'd end his day with a couple of beers and late-night snacking, disrupting the deep sleep his body needed to produce testosterone and repair itself. The beautiful thing is, once Robert understood what was happening and made just 3 simple changes I'm going to share with you today, everything started to turn around. Not overnight, mind you. We're not 25 anymore. But within 6 weeks, Robert told me he felt like himself again. His energy was back, his confidence returned, and his wife noticed the difference too. "I wish I'd known this stuff years ago," he told me. "Nobody ever explained it like this. I thought I just had to accept it." That's exactly why I'm making this video, because too many good men are suffering in silence, thinking they just have to accept diminished vitality as part of getting older. That's simply not true. Now, I want to be clear about something up front. I'm not here to sell you miracle cures or make promises that sound too good to be true. What I'm going to share with you today is based on solid research, practical experience, and the kind of common sense wisdom that actually works in the real world. Every man is different, and if you have serious health concerns, you should always talk to your doctor. But what I can tell you is that the natural approaches we're going to discuss today have helped thousands of men reclaim their vitality safely and naturally. So whether you're dealing with occasional issues or more persistent problems, whether you're 60 or 80, whether you've been struggling for months or years, this conversation is for you. Let's start by understanding what's really happening in your body after 60, because once you understand the why, the solutions become much clearer. Think of your circulatory system like the plumbing in an old house. When the house was new, water flowed strong and steady to every faucet. But after decades of use, mineral deposits build up in the pipes, joints get a little loose, and the pressure just isn't what it used to be. Your blood vessels work the same way. After 60 years of life, of stress, of rich foods, of sitting more than we should, the delicate lining of your blood vessels starts to change. Medical folks call this endothelial dysfunction, but you can just think of it as your body's highway system getting a little congested. Here's why this matters so much for erections. An erection is essentially a hydraulic event. It requires strong, steady blood flow to fill the chambers in your penis and maintain firmness. When your circulation isn't optimal, everything downstream suffers. But it's not just about blood flow. After 60, your testosterone levels naturally start to decline, about 1% per year after age 30, which means by 60, you might have 30% less testosterone than you did in your prime. Testosterone isn't just about sex drive. It's crucial for energy, mood, muscle mass, and yes, sexual function. Then there's something most men don't think about: nitric oxide. This is a molecule your body produces that helps blood vessels relax and expand. It's like having a good traffic controller keeping the highways flowing smoothly. But as we age, we produce less nitric oxide, which means less blood flow to all the areas that need it. Now, here's where modern life makes everything worse. Most of us are dealing with chronic low-level inflammation from processed foods and stress. This inflammation damages blood vessels and reduces nitric oxide production. Poor sleep quality, which is when your body does most of its testosterone production and cellular repair. If you're not getting deep, restorative sleep, your body can't maintain optimal hormone levels. Increased belly fat, which produces enzymes that convert testosterone to estrogen. The more belly fat you carry, the more your hormonal balance shifts away from what supports male vitality. Medications that can interfere with sexual function. Blood pressure medications, antidepressants, and even some prostate medications can have side effects that impact erectile function. And here's the thing that really gets me. Stress and anxiety about performance make everything worse. When you're worried about whether things will work, your body produces stress hormones that actually constrict blood vessels and reduce the very function you're trying to improve. It becomes a vicious cycle. Poor circulation leads to disappointing performance, which creates anxiety, which creates more stress hormones, which further reduces circulation. But here's what I want you to understand. None of this means you're broken or that you have to accept a diminished quality of life. Your body is incredibly resilient and responsive, even at our age. The same systems that can work against you can also work for you when you know how to support them properly. The solutions I'm about to share with you work because they address the root causes, not just the symptoms. They support your body's natural ability to maintain healthy circulation, balanced hormones, and optimal function. And the best part? These aren't complicated medical interventions or expensive procedures. They're simple, natural approaches that fit into your daily life. and actually make you feel better overall, not just in the bedroom. Now let's get into the practical solutions that can make a real difference. I'm going to share 3 natural approaches that work together to support healthy circulation, hormone balance, and overall vitality. Every morning, your body is like a car that's been sitting in the garage all night. Everything's a little sluggish, circulation is slow, and your systems need a gentle wake-up call. Most guys reach for coffee and maybe some toast, but there's a much better way to start your day. Here's what I want you to try for the next 2 weeks, and I'll explain exactly why each step matters. Start with 20 ounces of room temperature water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Your body is dehydrated after 8 hours without fluids, and proper hydration is crucial for healthy blood flow. Think about it. Your blood is mostly water, so when you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker and harder to pump. The lemon provides vitamin C, which supports nitric oxide production, and the natural citrus helps kickstart your digestive system gently. I learned this from a cardiologist who told me that many of his older patients who complained of fatigue were simply chronically dehydrated. Most men over 60 drink coffee all day, but barely touch water, he said. Their circulation suffers, and they don't even realize it. Follow that hydration with 5 to 10 minutes of gentle movement. This doesn't mean running a marathon or doing jumping jacks. I'm talking about simple stretches, walking around your yard, or even just doing some arm circles and leg swings. Maybe touch your toes a few times, roll your shoulders, stretch your arms overhead. The goal is to get your blood moving and wake up your cardiovascular system. When you've been lying down for 8 hours, your circulation naturally slows down. This gentle movement is like priming a pump. You're getting everything flowing again before you ask your body to perform at its best. Then, instead of a high-sugar breakfast that spikes your blood sugar and creates inflammation, try this combination. 2 eggs, great source of cholesterol which your body uses to make testosterone. Some avocado or nuts, healthy fats that support hormone production, and a handful of berries, antioxidants that protect blood vessels from damage. You might be surprised that I mentioned cholesterol as a good thing. For decades, we've been told cholesterol is the enemy, but your body actually needs cholesterol to produce testosterone and other vital hormones. The key is getting it from whole food sources, not processed junk. Why does this work so powerfully? When you wake up, your testosterone levels are naturally at their highest point of the day. This is why many men experience morning erections in their younger years. Your body is primed and ready. But if you immediately spike your blood sugar with sugary cereals, pastries, or even fruit juice, you trigger a massive insulin release. High insulin levels suppress testosterone production for hours, essentially wasting your body's natural peak hormone time. By keeping your blood sugar stable and supporting circulation first thing in the morning, you're working with your body's natural rhythms instead of against them. You're setting, my friend Frank, who's 67, told me this simple morning routine made him feel 10 years younger within 3 weeks. I actually wake up with morning erections again, he said. I forgot what that felt like. And my energy doesn't crash at 10 a.m. anymore like it used to. Another gentleman, Carl, who's 73, said the morning routine helped him feel more confident approaching his wife for intimacy. I know my body is working better, so I'm not worried about whether I'll be able to perform. That confidence makes all the difference. Here's something most men don't realize. What you do in the afternoon dramatically affects how you feel in the evening. If you're like most guys our age, you hit an energy wall around 2 or 3 p.m., maybe have some coffee and a snack, and then wonder why you're too tired for intimacy later. This afternoon crash isn't just about getting older. It's about how your body's natural energy cycles work, and most of us are fighting against them instead of working with them. Your body operates on what scientists call a circadian rhythm. A essentially an internal clock that's been fine-tuned over millions of years of evolution. This clock expects certain things to happen at certain times. Around 2 to 3 p.m., your core body temperature naturally dips, which triggers a feeling of sleepiness. This is completely normal and happens even to people who slept perfectly the night before. Most men fight this natural dip with caffeine and sugar, which creates a temporary energy spike, followed by an even worse crash later. Instead, let's work with your body's natural rhythm. Instead of reaching for that afternoon coffee, try this 3-step reset protocol. Around 2 p.m., when you feel that energy dip, take a 10 to 15-minute walk outside. This serves multiple purposes. Natural sunlight helps regulate your circadian rhythm, which is crucial for healthy testosterone production and sleep quality later. The light exposure tells your brain it's still daytime and helps prevent that afternoon sluggishness from turning into evening lethargy. Walking also improves circulation without putting stress on your body. You're not trying to get your heart rate up like a 30-year-old at the gym. You're simply moving blood through your system, delivering oxygen and nutrients to all your organs, including the ones that matter most for sexual function. When you get back, have a small snack that combines protein and healthy fat. Maybe a handful of almonds, a piece of string cheese, or a hard-boiled egg. Avoid anything with sugar or refined carbs, which will just crash your energy again in an hour. The protein provides steady energy without spiking blood sugar, while the fat helps you feel satisfied and supports hormone production. Remember, your body makes hormones from cholesterol and healthy fats, so giving it the right building blocks throughout the day is crucial. Then, here's the secret weapon. Spend 5 minutes doing deep breathing exercises. Find a comfortable chair, close your eyes, and breathe in slowly for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Repeat this cycle for 5 minutes. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's rest and digest mode, which supports healthy hormone production and reduces stress hormones. It's like hitting a reset button on your entire nervous system. Most men over 60 live in a state of chronic low-level stress. Maybe it's worry about finances, health concerns, family responsibilities, or just the general pace of modern life. This chronic stress keeps your body producing cortisol, which directly suppresses testosterone and constricts blood vessels. The afternoon reset breaks this cycle. You're giving your body a chance to shift gears, reduce stress hormones, and prepare for a more energetic evening. You're essentially training your nervous system to spend more time in the mode that supports vitality instead of the mode that depletes it. James, a 69-year-old retired teacher, told me this afternoon, protocol completely changed his evenings. I used to fall asleep in my chair watching TV by 7 p.m., he said. Now I have energy to spend quality time with my wife, and I actually look forward to bedtime, if you know what I mean. The afternoon reset breaks this cycle. You're giving your body a chance to shift gears, reduce stress hormones, and prepare for a more energetic evening. What you do in the 3 hours before bed might be the most important factor in your sexual health, and most men get this completely wrong. The evening hours are when your body should be preparing for the deep, restorative sleep that's crucial for testosterone production, cellular repair, and overall vitality. Here's the conventional pattern that kills vitality. Big dinner around 7 p.m., maybe some alcohol, then TV, or scrolling on your phone until 10 or 11 p.m., then straight to bed, wondering why you feel sluggish and uninterested in intimacy. This pattern disrupts every system your body needs for optimal sexual function. Late eating forces your body to spend the night digesting instead of repairing. Alcohol disrupts deep sleep cycles. Blue light from screens suppresses melatonin production. And going to bed with a stressed, overstimulated mind makes it nearly impossible to get the kind of deep sleep your body needs. Instead, try this evening vitality stack, starting about 3 hours before your intended bedtime. Eat your largest meal at lunch and keep dinner light and early, finished by 6 p.m. if possible. When you eat a big meal late, your body spends the night digesting instead of producing hormones and repairing tissues. Think of it this way. Your body can either focus on digestion or on restoration, but it can't do both optimally at the same time. For dinner, focus on easily digestible proteins like fish or chicken, some vegetables, and maybe a small amount of complex carbs like sweet potato. Avoid anything spicy, greasy, or heavy that might disrupt your sleep. This is when you start actively preparing your body and mind for sleep. If you drink alcohol, limit it to 1 drink with dinner, and absolutely none after 7 p.m. While alcohol might make you feel relaxed initially, it severely disrupts deep sleep cycles and testosterone production. Many men don't realize that alcohol continues to affect sleep quality for hours after you stop feeling its effects. Start dimming the lights in your house. Our ancestors didn't have bright lights after sunset, and our bodies are still programmed to expect darkness as a signal to start producing sleep hormones. Use lamps instead of overhead lights, and consider getting some blue light blocking glasses if you must use screens. About an hour before bed, take a warm shower or bath. This isn't just about getting clean. It's about using temperature to signal your brain that it's time to sleep. The warm water raises your core body temperature, and when you get out, the rapid cooling signals your brain to produce melatonin and growth hormone, both crucial for recovery and vitality. While you're in the shower, try alternating between warm and slightly cooler water for the last 30 seconds. This temperature contrast improves circulation and can boost testosterone production. Finally, make your bedroom a sanctuary for sleep and intimacy. The temperature should be cool, around 65 to 68 degrees. Your brain associates cooler temperatures with nighttime and deeper sleep. The room should be as dark as possible. Even small amounts of light can disrupt melatonin production. And it should be quiet, or at least have consistent background noise, like a fan or white noise machine. Remove all screens from the bedroom. Your bedroom should be associated with only 2 activities: sleep and intimacy. Having a TV or scrolling on your phone in bed trains your brain to be alert and stimulated in the place where you should be relaxed and restorative. Here's a bonus tip that my grandfather taught me, and it's backed by modern science. He'd have a small handful of pumpkin seeds about an hour before bed. "Good for the prostate and good for a man's strength," he'd say with a knowing smile. Turns out he was absolutely right. Pumpkin seeds are rich in zinc, which is crucial for testosterone production and prostate health. They also contain magnesium, which helps with muscle relaxation and deeper sleep. Your body produces the most testosterone during deep sleep, particularly between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., so anything that improves sleep quality directly benefits your sexual health. The beautiful thing about this evening routine is that it doesn't just support sexual health. It improves your sleep quality, energy levels, mood, and overall well-being. When you sleep better, you wake up with more energy. When you have more energy, you feel more confident and interested in intimacy. When you're more interested in intimacy, you're happier and less stressed. It creates a positive cycle that builds on itself. One gentleman named Harold, who's 71, started following this evening protocol and told me, "I sleep better than I have in years, wake up more refreshed, and my wife says, I'm more affectionate and present throughout the day. It's like I got my mojo back, and it carries over into every part of my life." Another man, David, age 65, said, "I didn't realize how much my late eating and TV watching were affecting my sleep. Once I made these changes, not only did my energy improve, but my wife and I started being intimate more frequently because I actually felt like myself again in the evenings. Now let me share some bonus insights that can really accelerate your progress, along with common mistakes I see men make that sabotage their efforts. These are the little things that can make a big difference, the details that separate men who see dramatic improvements from those who see modest results. Here's something most doctors never mention. Magnesium deficiency is incredibly common in men over 60, and it directly affects circulation, muscle function, and even testosterone production. Studies show that up to 80% of older adults are deficient in magnesium, yet it's involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. Magnesium helps relax blood vessels, supports healthy blood pressure, and is essential for proper muscle function, including the smooth muscle that controls blood flow to your penis. When you're magnesium deficient, your blood vessels can't relax properly, which directly impacts erectile function. You can get magnesium from dark leafy greens like spinach, nuts, seeds, and dark chocolate. But here's an easier trick that many men find more practical. Take an Epsom salt bath twice a week. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and your skin can absorb magnesium directly through the bath water. Plus, the warm water itself improves circulation throughout your body. Many men tell me this simple habit makes a noticeable difference in how they feel overall. As one 68-year-old gentleman told me, I started taking Epsom salt baths twice a week, and within a month, my wife noticed I was sleeping more soundly and seemed more relaxed during the day. I felt less tense and more energetic. This might sound crazy at first, but ending your shower with 30 seconds of cold water can be a game changer for circulation and hormone production. I know. The last thing you want when you're 60 plus is to be uncomfortable. But hear me out. Cold exposure does several powerful things. It increases nitric oxide production, which improves blood flow, stimulates circulation throughout your entire body, and can even boost testosterone levels. The shock of cold water also activates your sympathetic nervous system in a beneficial way, like a natural energy boost that can last for hours. Start with just 10 seconds of cool, not ice-cold, water at the end of your shower and work your way up. You're not trying to torture yourself. You're giving your circulatory system a gentle wake-up call. This practice, called contrast hydrotherapy, has been used by cultures around the world for centuries to improve vitality and health. Think about our grandfathers and great-grandfathers. They didn't have central heating and hot water on demand. They were regularly exposed to temperature changes that kept their circulation robust and their bodies resilient. We can recreate some of that benefit with this simple practice. Here's something that might be the most important point of this entire video. Your relationship with your partner matters more than any supplement, technique, or medical intervention you could ever try. I've seen men with perfect testosterone levels and excellent circulation still struggle with intimacy because of relationship stress, poor communication, or emotional distance. Stress, resentment, poor communication, or lack of emotional intimacy will sabotage the best physical health. When you're worried about disappointing your partner, or when there's unresolved tension in the relationship, your body produces stress hormones that directly counteract everything we've discussed today. Make time for non-sexual physical affection throughout the day. Hold hands while watching TV. Hug for at least 20 seconds when you greet each other. Sit close together during meals. Physical touch releases oxytocin, which reduces stress hormones and increases feelings of connection and bonding. Have honest, gentle conversations about what you're both experiencing. Many women over 60 are dealing with their own physical changes, hormonal shifts, vaginal dryness, changes in desire. and you might be surprised how understanding and supportive she is when you open up about your concerns. Focus on intimacy beyond just intercourse. Massage, cuddling, kissing, and other forms of physical affection can be deeply satisfying and help maintain your physical and emotional connection even when erectile function isn't perfect. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. Your sense of purpose and mental well-being directly affect your physical vitality. Men who feel depressed, anxious, or lacking in purpose often experience decreased libido and erectile function, regardless of their physical health. Stay engaged with activities that give you meaning, whether that's volunteering, mentoring younger people, pursuing hobbies, or spending time with grandchildren. Having something to look forward to and feel excited about energizes every system in your body. If you're dealing with depression or anxiety, please don't try to tough it out alone. These conditions are incredibly common in men our age, and they can be treated effectively. Sometimes, addressing mental health issues does more for sexual function than any physical intervention. I see this all the time. Guys who try to cram all their healthy habits into the weekend and then wonder why they don't see results. Maybe they eat perfectly on Saturday and Sunday, but go back to poor habits. Monday through Friday. Your body doesn't work that way. Consistency beats intensity every single time. It's better to make small improvements every day than to try for perfection twice a week. Many men think sexual function is purely physical, so they focus only on supplements, exercises, or medical interventions. But sexual health is deeply connected to your emotional state, stress levels, and overall life satisfaction. If you're dealing with depression, anxiety, financial stress, or relationship problems, addressing those issues might do more for your vitality than any physical intervention. This is a big one. Some men think that if they can't perform like they did at 30, then they might as well give up entirely. This kind of thinking is not only wrong, it's harmful. Sexual intimacy and satisfaction can actually improve with age when you focus on connection, communication, and overall well-being rather than just performance metrics. Many couples report that their intimate life becomes more satisfying in their 60s and beyond because they're more comfortable with themselves and better at communicating their needs. Poor circulation and erectile issues can be early warning signs of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, or other serious health conditions. While the natural approaches I've shared today are safe and beneficial, they're not a substitute for proper medical care. If you're experiencing persistent problems, please talk to your doctor. Many men avoid these conversations out of embarrassment, but your doctor has heard it all before and can help rule out underlying health issues. Finally, let me address something that affects every man, but that we rarely talk about: the mental and emotional stress of dealing with these changes. It's completely normal to feel frustrated, worried, or even a little scared when your body doesn't respond the way it used to. These feelings are valid, and acknowledging them is the first step to moving forward. Remember that your worth as a man, as a partner, and as a human being has nothing to do with your sexual performance. You are not defined by your erections. You are a complete person with decades of wisdom, experience, and love to offer. Before we wrap up today's conversation, I want to share some resources that can help you put everything we've discussed into action. First, I'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from today's talk? Was it the morning circulation routine, the evening vitality stack, or maybe one of the bonus tips that really resonated with you? Share it in the comments below. Your insight might be exactly what another man needs to hear to take that first step toward feeling better. And if you tried any of these suggestions and noticed a difference, please share that too. There's nothing more encouraging than hearing real success stories from real men who've made these changes work in their own lives. If you'd like to dive deeper into what we've discussed today, I've put together a free resource called the 7-Day Vitality Recovery Plan for Men over 60. It takes everything we've covered and breaks it down into simple, day-by-day action steps. The plan includes a complete morning routine checklist, afternoon energy-boosting strategies, evening protocols for better sleep and hormone production, a simple meal planning guide focused on circulation and vitality, common troubleshooting tips for the most frequent challenges. You can download it completely free using the link in the description below. No email required, no sales pitches, just practical information you can start using today. I created this resource because I know that sometimes hearing about strategies and actually implementing them are two different things. This plan makes it simple to get started and track your progress. I also want to remind you that you're not alone in this journey. In the comments section of this video, you'll find a community of men who are dealing with similar challenges and supporting each other with wisdom, encouragement, and practical tips. Don't be afraid to ask questions or share your own experiences. Some of the best advice I've ever received has come from other men who've walked this path before me. Speaking of community and support, in next week's video, I'm going to address something that many of you have asked about. The #1 bedroom mistake that kills intimacy after 60 and how to fix it tonight. This is about something that has nothing to do with your physical ability, but everything to do with how you approach intimacy as a mature man. I'll be sharing insights from relationship experts and real stories from couples who transformed their intimate connection later in life. If you don't want to miss that video, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. YouTube doesn't always show our videos to everyone who's subscribed, so the notification. Before you go, I want you to know something. Making this video wasn't easy for me. Talking openly about these intimate topics requires vulnerability, and I'll admit that sharing some of these personal insights felt a little uncomfortable at first. But I made this video because I believe that men our age deserve honest, practical information delivered with respect and understanding. We've earned the right to age with dignity and vitality, and we shouldn't have to figure everything out alone. If this video helped you in any way, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It really does help other men find this information, and it lets me know that these conversations are valuable to you. Most importantly, I want to encourage you to take action on at least one thing we discussed today. Maybe it's starting your day with that circulation-boosting routine, or perhaps it's having an honest conversation with your partner about what you're both experiencing. Small, consistent actions create big changes over time. You don't have to implement everything at once, but please don't let this just be another video you watched and forgot about. Your vitality, your well-being, and your happiness matter. You matter. And the fact that you took 30 minutes of your day to invest in your health tells me that you are ready to make positive changes. As we come to the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with a few thoughts that I hope will stay with you long after you close this video. First, remember that everything we've discussed today is rooted in one simple truth. Your body wants to be healthy and vital. Given the right support, nutrition, movement, and rest, your body has an amazing capacity to heal, adapt, and thrive, even at our age. The strategies we've talked about, the morning circulation routine, the afternoon reset, the evening vitality stack, these aren't just band-aids or temporary fixes. They're ways of living that support your body's natural ability to maintain strength, energy, and yes, sexual vitality. I think about my own father, who lived to be 89 and maintained his zest for life right until the end. He never had access to all the information we have today, but he understood something fundamental. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you feel good, you're a better husband, father, grandfather, and friend. You know, there's a saying that wisdom comes with age, but sometimes age comes alone. The difference is taking the time to learn, to listen to your body, and to make the changes that serve your well-being. Every man's journey is different. Some of you might implement these suggestions and see changes within days. Others might need weeks or months to notice significant improvements. Some of you might find that certain approaches work better for you than others. That's all completely normal and expected. The key is to be patient with yourself and consistent with your efforts. Remember, we didn't develop these challenges overnight, and we won't solve them overnight either. But with time, attention, and the right approach, improvement is not only possible, it's probable. I also want to acknowledge that this conversation we've had today represents something important. Men our age talking openly about health, vitality, and aging with honesty and dignity. For too long, these topics have been shrouded in shame, silence, or uncomfortable jokes. But we're changing that narrative. We're proving that men can age with grace, maintain their vitality, and continue to grow and improve throughout their later years. We're showing that seeking help, sharing experiences, and supporting each other isn't weakness, it's wisdom. To those of you watching who might be struggling with health challenges beyond what we've discussed today, please know that you have my respect and support. Life throws us curveballs that we never saw coming, and facing them with courage and dignity is the mark of a true man. And to all of you, whether you're dealing with minor concerns or more significant challenges, remember that you are not defined by your physical limitations. You are defined by your character, your love for others, your wisdom gained through decades of living, and your willingness to keep growing and learning. Your relationships, your contributions to your family and community, your knowledge and experience, these things matter infinitely more than any physical function. Sexual health is important because it contributes to overall well-being and life satisfaction, but it's just one part of a rich, full life. As you move forward from this conversation, I encourage you to be gentle with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Be patient with setbacks. And remember that every day is a new opportunity to make choices that support your health and happiness. Whether you're 60, 70, 80, or beyond, you still have so much to offer the world. Your best years don't have to be behind you. They might very well be ahead of you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for your openness, your willingness to learn, and your commitment to living your best life at every age. Until we talk again, take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and remember, you're not alone, you're not broken, and you're definitely not done yet. I'll see you in the next video.